Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a Q&A slash I'm going to talk about the topic, how much should I practice in order to manifest? And this is very spontaneous. I need to see how many of you are going to be live with me. So this might turn into a Q&A at some point. It will be the first Q&A actually on YouTube that I'm going to be doing as far as I remember. And before I get started with the Q&A, I'm going to answer the question of how often should I practice if I want to manifest? How often should you practice? I think this is a very important question that I don't get asked so often. Sometimes people ask me that, but I think it's very, very important because I get many questions about how to manifest a specific person, how to manifest money, how to manifest love, how to manifest a specific person again and again and again. And we tend to forget, if we are focusing so much on the manifestation, we tend to forget that actually we are the ones who are in control. We are the ones who can do the manifesting by embodying a different version of ourselves. And when we start to only think about the outcome, we kind of lose track of, wait a second, I'm in control, I know what to do, I don't need to ask, I gotta just simply embody the state of the wish fulfilled, and then my manifestation is the byproduct of my changed self-concept, of my changed self-perception. Alright, but before I get into the topic today, I want to reintroduce myself for everybody who doesn't know me yet. My name is Julia. Welcome to Manifest with Julia. And for those of you who already do know me, welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here. We're going to have lots of fun today because I see that a lot of people already joined. That's really, really amazing. I'm so excited to see your questions and I hope that I will be able to see them. Yeah, maybe type something in the comment section right now, like just say hi or put in a question so that I can see if I can see your comments. Yeah, okay, I just saw that I'm show my chat. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I can see you. Hi, Jadi. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So, and before I get started, if you're looking for one-on-one support on your journey, then feel free to check out my coaching services. Currently, it's today and tomorrow you can still get DM coaching packages that I just launched for 50% off. So there are new packages in my online shop and you can get them for half the price until tomorrow. But there are also other services. So if you're interested in getting my support on your journey, then definitely check out my online shop. It is linked, not right now probably because I'm live, but I'm going to link it after I posted the video. I'm going to link the links to my Instagram and to my online shop down below. And I'm also going to, you can also simply find another video, an older one, where I already linked the online shop. All right, and that's enough of administration work. Let me see. I want to just position myself correctly here before I get started. I can see your comments. I can see a flower and a hi and a hello and this one. Perfect. So I'm going to start with my introductory question that I think is very, very important to talk about. And you can already put your questions in the comments and I am going to get to as many as I can. And I think I might be able to answer them all because we're not so many today, but let's see. Okay, so practice is so important when it comes to manifesting. Doing your inner work is really key. And that's because your manifestation is not actually separate from you. And it's really important for you to understand that you are in control of where your life goes, of what results you're creating in your life. And I know that it can seem like the opposite is the case when you're identified with your own self-concept. So what had happened in my life and what is a pattern that was happening for me, and I see it happening for many people, is that when I was identified with my own self-concept, sometimes it would like overpower me, and it would convince me that what I wanted was not accessible for me, at least not in that moment. And that's very sad actually, because it's very disheartening, it's discouraging. It can throw you off for either a little bit or a longer period of time, hopefully not forever. And it's just not necessary. If we just do our work, then we can achieve incredible results in our life, whether this is in your financial situation, whether this is with success in business, whether this is, you know, if you're an artist and if you want to be successful as an artist or recognized as an artist and create amazing work. If you want to improve your relationships or even your mental health, which is so important, which is one of the, let's say, like first bigger manifestations that I had in my life without even realizing that I was manifesting mental health. So it is so important for you to persist if you want to manifest. Now, there is there's a right way, or let's say a better way to go about it, and there's a way that will throw you off. And the mistake that I did a lot along my journey was that I always kind of like, when I was motivated, I loved practicing a lot. Like I really did it a lot. And this can lead, if you're practicing like too much, it can lead to a burnout. And it actually comes from lack. Because when you're practicing, it's like you're so obsessed with what you want to create that you're actually avoiding your own resistance to the present moment. That's also what I was posting about today on my Instagram. It's when you're like avoiding the present moment because it brings up unpleasant emotions which are coming from your old self-concept and from old wounding and old limiting beliefs. And when you're trying to practice over that, that's actually not very helpful and not very sustainable, because instead of like looking at your old self-concept and seeing like, ooh, like I feel pretty, like, let's just say it, like I feel pretty shitty about myself. Like I actually don't like myself right now and I think my life sucks and I feel demotivated. And then you're trying to practice to get away from that. You're kind of trying to run away from it. What you're basically doing is you're trying to escape this old self-concept instead of looking at it, questioning it, disempowering it by questioning it, healing it, and then you can practice. And then you can practice, and the practice is going to be much more successful and much more potent and fertile than if you were just practicing without disempowering your own self-concept. Now, I went off on a tangent there. Let's get back to how often should you practice. So, as I already explained, the foundation of practicing is that you're doing the right practice at the right time. That means you're not doing too much, you're not doing too little. And this can mean something else for everyone. The main magical ingredient that I can give you is when you're in a state of the wish fulfilled, that's the state you want to maintain. And that means there are days where I can be in a state of the wish fulfilled and I'm not practicing much, or I'm not practicing at all. My thoughts are simply already so aligned that I can just go about my day, do my work or not do my work, and I'm just feeling I'm in the state of the wish fulfilled, and it's amazing, and I'm manifesting from there. There are days where I practice a lot, where I love practicing maybe even much more than average, or where I love to, just always keep on continuing to go into a practice after I took a little break, where I like to journal a lot. So there are those kind of days and there are other kind of days, and ultimately you need to see what your sweet spot is. You need to see, where am I energetically? What do I need to practice? And how much can I practice right now? Because sometimes you do need to take a break. And sometimes, it's time to saturate your mind a little more with a little more practices. You need to find out for yourself what that means. I can tell you that it doesn't necessarily burn you out if you're practicing a lot. If you like it, if you're passionate, if you enjoy it, then why not go for it? You can practice like, I don't know, for example, 3 times a day, morning, midday and morning, afternoon and evening. For example, 10 minutes per session or even half an hour per session, and say your affirmations or script your affirmations or do a meditation. Like, it's really your choice. I had very great experiences with doing 3 times a day practices, but I for myself found out that, okay, if I do that, it is already pretty intense, and I might not be able to do that every single day, like of the week for a month or so, but I have days where I do that and I can see that it really helps me saturate my mind, and I do it for a few days in a row, and then I may take a day off where I'm not practicing so much. And then I have days where I might practice even more. Especially at the beginning when you're manifesting something, you want to make sure to saturate your mind. So as you see, like as I'm going also a little bit back and forth, there is no one size fits all answer to this question. But that's why it's so important to address it. Because don't take this answer to mean that, oh, there is no answer for myself. Well, there will be an answer for every single day. There will be days where you feel that practicing 3 times that day is perfect. There will be days, and probably more often than not, where you're practicing 1 or 2 times, especially after already having saturated your mind a little bit. Maybe you don't need to practice 3 times. There will be days where you're perfectly fine without practicing, and there will be days where you're going deep, where you're healing you're working on healing yourself, and you're putting self-concept practices on top. There will be days where you're only healing, but really you gotta find out for yourself, okay, which desire am I working on? What do I need to address? Like, do I need to heal something that is stuck, that is in resistance, that needs to like kind of get uprooted? Or that I need to like kind of open up and heal and unstuck myself, if I might say that. And there will be days where you gotta focus on manifesting and building your self-concept. And I could talk more about this, but I don't want to take up all the space with that one question. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you have more questions about how often should you practice. Is this helpful? Is it understandable, like what I say with finding your sweet spot, finding your flow? Yeah, I think it is actually pretty straightforward. I would say, okay, I'm going to give you a suggestion to make it easier. I would say set a goal for yourself, whether you're going to practice like 1, 2, or 3 times a day, and when. Put that goal for yourself to practice 1 to 3 times a day, and say at least your self-concept affirmations or script your self-concept affirmations. Do that every day. Self-concept is good to do every single day. And then if you feel a day that you can't do it for whatever reason, it's okay. You don't have to force yourself, but create some kind of routine. And I suggest create a routine around your self-concept. What I'm doing, for example, is I'm practicing my financial success, like business, financial success, self-concept affirmations. When I started manifesting that, I did that every single day a lot. And then my second important manifestation was about relationships, like friends, family, and romantic relationships, like my self-concept around that. And I would practice my first priority manifesting. I would practice it 3 times a day, almost every day. And I did additional exercises as well. And then sometimes I also added my second important manifestation about friendships and relationships and family. And having that kind of routine helped me kind of keep track. Where am I? Like, did I do something today to move towards my goal and transform myself, or not? And it kind of gives you like a checklist that you can use for yourself to see, like, did I do it or not? And you can always adjust it. Like, don't think because I say like I practice 3 times a day sometimes and that you have to do it as well. You don't. I don't always practice 3 times a day. That was really just at the very beginning where I did that a lot. But you know, for some of you, it might be super helpful to start doing that. And if it doesn't resonate, and if you feel strongly that you want to practice 1 time a day, that's perfect too. Find your own sweet spot, but create a routine that kind of helps you understand where you are at and how practicing works for you. And from there, you can adjust your approach. Like, for example, I'm a person, I love my free flow. I really, really need my freedom. And that led often for me that I didn't have like the structure or the routine that kind of helped me to stay on track, and that made me feel like I'm not advancing. Or yeah, sometimes it could feel that way. But then when I was structuring myself too much and I got very rigid, because I also have a very strong analytical mind, it felt very bad to me as well. So for me, I had to really learn the approach of I'm creating a structure, I'm creating a loose plan. And when I want to deviate from it, I'm gonna deviate. But I'm really gonna be honest with myself and ask myself, do I deviate right now because I am sabotaging myself? Do I deviate because it makes sense to prioritize something else? It really does make sense. And I will come back to that tomorrow. Do I deviate because my plan doesn't work for me and I need to adjust something? Or do I deviate because I feel bad and I want to procrastinate and I'm deviating from my initial plan, but I'm not putting any other practice that could help me get back on track? I'm not putting anything in place that actually helps me get out of the emotional low that I might be in. So you got to understand, why am I deviating from the plan, and adjust it if it doesn't work for you. Remember, you're the creator of your reality. That means that you don't have to stick to a plan that doesn't work for you because you put it in place. So you are the one who can change it, right? You don't need to have my plan. I don't need to have anybody else's plan. Like, as I said, I'm pretty flowy. Sometimes I, practice a lot. I have days where I practice a lot, and I have days where I don't necessarily practice. Like, although I would say, like, I actually do it daily, even if it's just a little bit. Like, if I have one manifestation that's really important for me, I rarely skip a day. And that's only if there's either there needs to be either an emergency, or really I'm so wrapped up in the wish fulfilled already that there's really no need to practice. But I think you get the point, and I appreciate the comment that I got from you, JD. This is very helpful. Thank you for letting us know your experience. Thank you so much. I'm happy that it's understandable. And I get the feeling that I need to talk about this topic a little more in the future when I'm not mixing it up with a Q&A. But as I said, also for those of you who are watching this on a replay, put your questions about how often to practice, and put all of your questions related to practicing in the comments below. Of course, also if you have other questions, but especially your questions about how often to practice and how to practice and what to do and what not to do related to your manifestation tasks. Put them in the comments below, and I'll consider creating an extra video for only that purpose, to answer your questions about that topic, because it is super important. I can't stress how important practicing has been in my life. It really helps so much to reprogram the subconscious mind. It's like, when I had heavy emotional low experiences a few years ago, I didn't even, I started practicing gratitude and saying affirmations. I didn't even realize that I opened a holy grail for myself. And I started to feel much better. My self-esteem, really started healing, on a very deep level. And, just when I got into manifesting again last year, and I deepened it this year, I really got into it for real, deeper than ever before. I realized how I already had the solution so for so many years, and I wasn't fully aware. I was aware how powerful affirmations are and how powerful our self-concept is, but I wasn't fully aware of, oh God, I already had the answers back then, and it just would have taken me to practice more and to practice in different areas of my life for it to really harden into fact. And sometimes we're holding ourselves back because we think, well, I need to try out more different approaches and I need to first heal myself. And by all means, try out whatever you want, heal yourself. I'm a big fan of healing. I also have the emotional healing playlist, which I'm gonna link up here, that I so recommend, and I think it's so important. But nothing is gonna replace your self-concept work. Nothing is gonna replace you practicing. Even when you're healing, you still gotta practice. You still gotta make sure that the insights that you're getting from opening up your subconscious mind and taking a look at your beliefs, you gotta make sure that you're replacing them at some point. And better do it earlier than later. I don't think you say that in English. That's like kind of a German saying, but you better start doing the work. All right. Now, I'm so passionate right now about this practice thing, like practice, really practice, but I want to get into the questions. First of all, let me take a sip of water and breathe a little bit. Always when we're doing live Q&As, I'm getting very excited. And the bottle doesn't look really elegant here, I know, but I just wanted to get started and didn't get myself a glass. Maybe it's a good reminder for all of you also to take a deep breath. I'm having my coffee here. It's actually already, I think, after 6 here in Germany, but I still got a coffee, decaf coffee. All right, so let's dive into the Q&A, right? I'm confusing myself. All right. All right, first question from MCA Videos. And I see somebody join. Hi, Julio, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thanks for joining. Ah, no, you were already here. Okay. Anyway, I need to refocus. MCA Video 6886 asked, hi, wait a second, the comments are moving. Hi, thanks for doing this. I love your content. Thank you. I've been doing the inner work, but also I've recently come across the info about focusing on the solution is still keeping the problem alive in us. Problem solution are two sides of the same coin. Yeah, that's true. That they suggest that we just go to the place of no thought in the present moment. What's the balance between practicing so the new man feels natural versus dropping the focus, trusting the universe knows what we want instantly, and focusing on just being aware of the present moment? That's such an amazing question. And honestly, I think, again, there is no right or wrong. I think there's a time for everything, and I do agree that overly focusing on the solution could even make the problem, be more present or stay present. And I said it earlier, like I had the experience where I used to practice in order to kind of get away from the old experience, and that would keep the old experience very much alive within me. So I'm going to address it in a practical way first. How can you realize what's the best way for you to practice? Like, should you let go and trust, or should you practice and reprogram your subconscious mind? And I would say, if you realize and if you see that if you're not doing anything and you just trust, the problem keeps being stuck in your mind and you're obsessing over it in your mind. If that's the case, then you gotta check in with yourself. Does it help you to trust? Does it help you to just be present and enjoy the present? Or is that not even possible for you? I have moments where trusting and letting go feels absolutely right and feels so good, and I just know that for that moment it's perfect. It's perfect to let go. And there are moments where the problem is so stuck in my head, and if I don't do anything about it, like it kind of just stays there and annoys me a lot and just keeps annoying me and doesn't go away by itself. So I found out for myself that, well, in some moments, like just trusting is not even really possible, because I might be so like deep down in the experience of lack that I kind of first need to talk myself into trusting. I first need to talk myself into, you know what, there is a solution to this. Then there is not only a problem. As you said, there's also a solution to this problem. So there are moments where you really want to affirm the new man, as you said, affirm the new self-concept, and kind of connect yourself with the other part of the coin, where you know there is a problem, there's also a solution, and you really connect yourself with that reality and saturate. Now, you don't want to do that in a way that keeps the problem alive forever in your vibration or in your consciousness. And what I see when I'm practicing, and I guess that's the case for many other people as well, if I just repeat the affirmations, that already has an effect, so that's already good to do. If I'm not overdoing it, but if I can conjure up the reality in a more conscious way, where I'm like, let me affirm in a way where I'm actually starting to connect to the reality. Like, let me think about this. Like, how would it actually feel if the problem didn't exist at all anymore? Like, how would that feel? And then you can kind of like wonder and ponder and contemplate on, how would I feel if that wasn't even an issue for me? And then you will see that you're going to get into the state of the wish fulfilled, and you're gonna affirm in a way that doesn't necessarily focus on, like, let's take the example of money. Let's say you have no money, but you want to have money, and you're not, if you're really in the state of the wish fulfilled, you're not just going to affirm that, like, I have money, I have $10,000 or euros, I'm making $10,000 or euros a month, I'm having so much money, I'm rich. I mean, those affirmations, I love saying them and I love applying them, like I'm wealthy, I'm rich. But what happens when you truly feel wealthy is, first of all, your focus is not only going to be on the money, which in this case would be the perceived solution, but you're going to feel wealthy. You're going to feel like, what I'm going to do with the money, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna invest the money, I'm going to help people, I'm gonna buy gifts, I'm gonna have these beautiful experiences, I'm gonna support so many people, maybe I'm founding, an organization with that money. Like, whatever you think you're going to do for yourself or for others, in that case, you're going to have a much broader perception of the solution. The solution is not the perceived opposite of the problem. The solution is like your new life, your new self. So I hope I'm not expanding too much on this, but it's not a black and white thing. It's more of like, you're going from a very narrow view and you're opening up. Like, you're expanding and you're opening up, and your view becomes much broader and your energy becomes much more open. And that's how you know I'm in the state of the wish fulfilled, because I can feel a difference in my body. And don't worry if that doesn't work from the very beginning. It's normal for it to take a little bit of time until you can easily enter the state of the wish fulfilled. And I would say both practices are important. It's important to affirm and to affirm the solution, to become the solution. And it's also important sometimes to let go and to say, you know what, I'm not resistant resistant to what is right now. I know my reality is going to change, but I'm not resistant to the experience of, in this case, not having money, or I'm not resistant to the experience of not being with my SP, or whatever experience you might perceive to be the problem. Ideally, the perceived problem is not going to feel like a problem anymore. You're going to be like, I am already wealthy, like not having money right now is not an issue. Not being with my SP right now is not an issue. I'm already loved and worthy and complete. All right, I hope that answers your question. Feel free to give me feedback down below. All right, how do you feel? A question from JD. How do you feel about mirror work? I didn't even finish reading the question, but I love mirror work. If you are for it, how do you do it? I've heard a lot about it lately. So mirror work was something that I did when I healed myself from depression. And I had the exercise to look into the mirror and say, I love you to myself like 100 times, or like a lot during the day. And I need to go back to the question. And I started doing that, and my mind was like, my analytical part was of course, you know, well, actually I was not that resistant to doing the work, but I know that if you're very analytical, it can cause some resistance. But I was just like, okay, I did it, and I could feel the effect so profoundly. I was just looking at myself, and I told myself, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I looked at myself and I said it sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, sometimes more intensely, sometimes less intensely. And I could just feel that it has an effect. I can just feel it. And even now, till this day, when I'm saying affirmations, sometimes I'm putting myself just intuitively in front of the mirror, and I'm just saying that to myself. And I'm talking to myself. And it's really helpful. Like, you can say affirmations or have an inner dialogue with yourself, to the mirror. You can smile at yourself. You can just look at yourself. Like, just be aware of yourself. Look into your eyes. It's beautiful. It's profound. I think it's much more profound than you could explain, because the mind would want to say, like, it's just looking at yourself in the mirror. Like, what kind of effect should that have? But it does have an effect. And it's also beautiful to really see yourself and look at yourself and just be aware of yourself, like create that space for yourself. I don't see it as, I don't see it as something that is like too simplified. It's like something that can actually make us aware that we are there, we are present. And I think in our day-to-day lives, we're sometimes not so aware of ourselves. We're like, yeah, that's just me. Like, that's just me. Like, why would I be looking at myself? I am myself. Like, why would I look at myself? But I can see a very positive effect also when I'm looking at videos of myself, especially if I like the videos. Like, if I go back to my YouTube videos and I look at them and I perceive myself, I can see how, oh, that's how I move, that's how I express, that's how I smile. I can see how I can project my own self-love much more easily onto myself, because I'm observing myself and I'm not just, you know, having the thoughts in my mind, but I'm actually looking at myself. I can compliment myself for, wow, that was eloquent, or wow, that was sweet, or wow, I like your smile, or I like your hair, or I like the way you express yourself. You know, it's just deepening the relationship that you have with yourself. I love the question, and I love the answer that it kind of inspired within me. Like, I said some things that I did never think about that way. Okay, question from Navneet Bali. How does sleeping with affirmations work? We're sleeping but subconscious is awake. Yeah, so how can you explain it? I mean, in the end, you gotta try it out for yourself and see how it works. I know that for some people it works more quickly than for others. I know for some people it works, you know, more than for others. I think it depends also on yourself and your subconscious mind and your own association and your own sleep habits, you know, if you have a good sleep or not. I would just say try it out for yourself, see if it works, or it will work, but see how tangible the results are, see if you like it, see if you feel rejuvenated after doing it. And I don't mean just try 2 days and then leave it, like really try it for a prolonged period of time and see what the long-term effects are for yourself. I did it last year, I did it a lot. Like, I think I listened to nightly affirmations for a few months straight. And at some point, like, I was over it. I was like, I don't want to do it right now. But I know that there are going to be times where I will do it again. And I can see for myself if I'm already stressed or something like that. If there's a lot happening in my life, I like to really sleep without affirmations. And if I'm already like feeling relaxed and my day is not too full, I tend to like hearing affirmations during the night a little more. But again, that's me. You might very much benefit from nightly affirmations even when your days are full, and maybe they are even more helpful for you then. So try it out for yourself. By the way, for those of you who don't know it, I have different sleep affirmation tracks here. One for general abundance in all areas of life. One for love and magnetism and, you know, relationships, magnetic self-love, and one for financial abundance. And I've just linked the playlist there. Then there's more to the question that I just answered. Wait a second. We can't even hear the affirmations while sleeping, so how does it work? I'm not so sure if you're really not able to hear them. I mean, you're not remembering hearing them, but sometimes, you know, you have these little moments where you're like just drifting off into sleep, or when you're just waking up and the affirmations are still on. Also people, or yeah, I mean, it's said that not people say, but it's said that your subconscious mind can take it on all night long. It's just awake all night long. Honestly, I don't know all the details about how exactly your subconscious mind takes in the affirmations during the night. I don't think that this is the most important factor. I think what is most important is to see how it works for you. It doesn't matter so much what other people say or experience, or what books say or describe about the subconscious mind. If you use the method and it works for you, then apply it. In this very specific case, yeah. There are other methods where I think they are easily, you know, you can more easily see the, now I'm losing the word, you can easily see like the results that they're getting for people in general. But with this, I think you need to find out how it works for you, and even different tracks can have a different effect on you. So don't try to like analyze it, just try it out. Just try it out for yourself. And I do think that the subconscious mind is not, you know, you're sleeping and then your subconscious mind is off. I mean, imagine if somebody walks in the door during the night and, you know, it's very loud, you're also hearing it although you're asleep. So your subconscious mind is awake to a certain extent and can take on the beliefs easily. All right, let's continue. Hi, my specific person is not conforming or showing me the opposite since month. Is there a question in that? Let me think what I can say to that. Explore your relationship with them. Explore the way you perceive yourself in relationship to them. Like, what are you feeling about them? How do you perceive them? Do you feel like easy in the connection? Like, even if you're not in contact, like in your mind, you're having some experience with them. Do you feel like easy with them? Is it easy? Is it loving? Is it safe? Or is it no contact, ignored, ghosted? They're not here. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm abandoned. Like, what is the energy? And then address that. Address that by doing emotional healing work, address that through inner conversations. All of the tools are on my channel. I have inner conversation meditations with your specific person, with yourself, emotional healing techniques, like try out what you need to be twisting, or book a coaching call with me and we can see like what is your relationship with your specific person internally and what do you need to work on next in order to get a different reflection. Because again, I don't know, I think I already said it today. If you're affirming, that's not what's getting you the result. The result comes from you changing who you are, you shifting into a different state. That's what the result is coming from. And I just see Navneet saying, thanks for answering, you're the sweetest. Thank you so much. That's a very sweet comment. And I hope that this was helpful and understandable for you. I intend that it was. Yeah, so like explore the inner relationship, the inner story that is alive inside of you about your specific person and yourself. How do you see yourself? Who are you? Like, script it out. Who are they? How do you see them? Like, what's your go-to belief system? And then from there, you should be able to easily see what's going on. Yeah, that's my answer. And if you need support in this, because I know that sometimes if you're not used to this work, it might be, for some people I know that are new, it's difficult to find a belief. It is not really difficult, but if you need support, you can book my coaching services. I'm happy to help you. But if you want to look for yourself, then simply ask yourself the question that I just asked, maybe script it out and look at it and see what's the dominant story. And chances are that the dominant story is still like the story that gets pushed out. And that's, that's okay. Just change it, practice it. Make sure that you are not needing them. You don't want to need your specific person. Make sure that you are having a beautiful relationship with yourself, that you're happy with yourself. And from there, you can start to create a different reality. And then don't rush it. There's no rush for a specific person to come into your life. There's really no rush. You're complete. You're the prize. You're amazing. And they are going to be attracted back to you simply by you being you. And what you can also do is you can explore your relationship beliefs. Like, maybe you're having good beliefs about your specific person, but deep down you think that I'm not worthy of that relationship, or relationships are hard, or I don't deserve commitment, or whatever the story is. Yeah, can really observe and question the entire story if it doesn't serve you. Yes, I do speak German. Somebody asked, sprichst du Deutsch? Ja, ich spreche Deutsch. JD Jadi says, I know that my SP is mine. He is madly in love with me. And knows I'm the person. I'd still like to see him more often, and I'd like an official commitment now. Maybe I just need to get busier. Let's see, what self-concept? What self-concept is this statement coming from? So the first part was amazing, and then it starts, I'd still like to see him more often. Can you see how you're identified with the self-concept of he's not here enough, he's not here, I want him to be here, why is he not here? Why don't I get the attention that I want? Why isn't he prioritizing me? Why don't I get the commitment that I want? I want to see him more often. He's not here. I want commitment now. I don't get what I want. Like, can you see, like, this is all in, like, this is, we can pretty intuitively find out what self-concept we're coming from. Like, I already saw your comment that you see what I mean. Maybe I just need to get busier. Yeah, maybe I just need to, like, be less available. So maybe I need to play hard to get a little, so he will be more attracted to me. Like, I can't, you know, I don't deserve, or maybe I can't have him as I am right now. He is in love with me, but still I don't get the commitment I want. So maybe if I get busier, then he'll want me more. Can you see how that's coming from? And this is very common, actually. Like, I think especially as women, but also men, we are told that, you know, playing hard to get is like the solution. And on a psychological level, there might be something to it, but it's not the healthy, sustainable way for a relationship. And also for you, it's stressful. It's stressful to try and be busy. It's stressful to try and not be yourself. And I understand it because it's deeply ingrained in us, but you don't need that. You don't need that. You're good as you are. I'm going to talk. This was now the old self-concept that I just like kind of added to. Let's go into the new self-concept. He wants me. He wants me so much. He misses me when he's not around. I'm so special for him. He's madly in love with me. And he wants to see me every single day. He can't get enough of me. He loves that I'm available for him, and he's so available for me. I love that we're creating this strong, intimate bond together. I love that we're talking about everything. I love the way he's present with me. I love the way he looks at me. I love how he is always present with me. I love how I'm his number one priority. Like that's what I would be like internally practicing. And you can even create inner conversations with him where he's telling you, hey, I want to see you. I want to see you more often. Where are you? Can I come visit? Can I come see you? And you can say like, it's so nice that you want to see me. I love that you're giving me so much attention, that you are so present with me. Okay, let's read the follow-up comments. It's not that I need to be less available, but I need to do more to make myself happy. Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Like, it's important both that you make yourself happy by yourself, the relationship between you, and also that you make yourself happy by having conversations with him internally. Like, he's not here physically, well, that's no problem. You can start practicing inner conversations and being in touch with his spirit. That's the two ways that I would approach this. But I think it's so good to have an amazing relationship with yourself, because that way you are going to be, it's, for me personally, it's the ultimate safety net. And I know that I love knowing that I always got my back. You could also say that you want to work on the relationship between you and God, or you and love, or you and the universe. Like, the relationship between you and you as a person, the relationship between you and him, and between you and spirit. And this will give you some, you know, some nice results. And just fulfillment. It's like, I think the relationship that we're having with consciousness or God or the universe or life itself, it's a very important relationship that needs to come first. Because it's from there that we're creating everything else. And also, don't force yourself to stop thinking about him. Like, sure, I'm all for having a mission in life where you're focusing yourself onto something that you want to create and that is not dependent on anyone else. Like, I have that in my life. I see how it has impacted my mental health also to have my own purpose. And I would never want to give that up. But I also think it's okay to think a lot about a person that you love. Why shouldn't you? Like, as long as you're not obsessed, and as long as, you know, you're having thoughts that make you feel good and that are like coming from love, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't be thinking about him. yeah, just of course find a balance. I think it's good to find a balance. You're so welcome. All right, let's see what else. Somebody asked me, hey, how was your day? I'm new, but you seem great. Well, thank you so much, Felicia Ash. My day, how was my day? I'm gonna answer that question, although it's not super relevant to the video Q&A. My day was, I was kind of tired. And I myself, I'm working through a pattern, was working through a pattern last week that was challenging me. Like an old pattern was coming up, and I was kind of like reflective today, trying to take it slow, and I still wanted to do this video, so I felt like inspired to create a Q&A, and I feel that this was the exact right direction because it somehow made me not be tired anymore. So that's how my day was today. And I spent time with my family, with my grandma and my uncle. So it was a nice, chill Sunday. So Q&A, a bit random, but I've been stuck on a train for 6 hours and all bathrooms are closed. Never. Okay, this comment, I'm sorry, but like this question is like too far away from what I'm going to answer here on this Q&A. So what else? Wow, I'm gonna start doing mirror work. Your answer got me really emotional. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, it was coming from my heart. Kavya Srivastav. Julia, my SP situation is such where he doesn't want me to contact him. It makes me feel demotivated on some days, and I wonder if I'll ever be able to manifest him back into my life. Makes sense that if he told you that he doesn't want you to contact him. One sec, I gotta drink something. If he told you that he doesn't want you to contact him, it makes 100% sense to feel demotivated. It's normal. It's a reflection that mirrors some inner hurt, probably being rejected. Maybe that's something that you feel internally, like you are rejected and pushed away and your love is not being received. So I totally understand that it feels bad to receive the reflection, but remember that it is a reflection, and remember that you are the creator of your reality. And I 100% understand that you are you're having a reaction to this, but make sure to explore your inner dialogue, explore your inner reaction, and tend to that. Because ultimately, and now we're going to open like we're going to open an important topic that I was reflecting on recently. Manifesting a specific person is not the end goal. The real deeper reason why your soul or your higher self is on this journey is because you are realizing who you are in the process. You are interacting with yourself. Remember, everybody is you pushed out. You are the God of your reality. So we are all connected to God consciousness. We are all God consciousness. We're all the universe. We're all life force. We're all creators. And what that means is that you don't ultimately need your specific person. And it's so important to come back to that truth. Manifesting a specific person should not be seen as like you need them, you have to have them, you need to prove to yourself that you can manifest them. Like, these are all tricky beliefs that can come up when manifesting a specific person. Don't make it so much about them. And I don't want this to sound selfish, but it's important to refocus on yourself. So make sure that you know that you're manifesting them because you're manifesting your desire. This is about you. It's about your desire. And it's important because when the focus shifts to them, it's really unhealthy. When you're only and overly focused on someone else, it's unhealthy. They are a mirror to you. They are mirroring back something to you. And if it's not this specific person, if you would let go of them theoretically, you will create the same situation with someone else. And why? It's because probably at a deeper level, something within you believes or thinks that you can't have what you want. For some reason, you're denied what you want. And that's the core that we need to look at. I mean, I can't tell you exactly what the core wound is, and probably it's a longer story and multiple beliefs that are there and multiple wounds that are there. So I can't tell you exactly just by that question what it is. That would be something that we could find out in a coaching session. But what I can say is there is something that you're telling yourself and that you're emotionally attached to internally so much that you're creating it externally. And probably you're not fully conscious of that. And that's why not having your SP feels so demotivating, because you still think that it's them who are going to give you the happiness, that it's them that are going to make you feel fulfilled and empowered. But it's not them. It's not them. It's such an illusion. It's such an illusion. And honestly, it's so great when you're at the point when reality is clearly telling you, no, this is not the way to go. Like basically what he's saying is, don't contact me. What reality is saying to you, don't go out there, go within. This is not the way. He's telling you, he's like shutting the door and telling you here's no entry to your fulfillment. Like, I can't give that to you. You are the creator of your reality. That's what he's basically saying. And when you're understanding that it's really just a redirection, like it sounds, I think for some people it might sound cheesy, but I just love that. Rejection is simply a redirection. It's just a redirection. That's all it is. You are complete. You are complete. For me personally, this creates such a peace of mind around manifesting anything, because I know I'm whole and I'm complete, and we shouldn't be dependent anyways on anything that happens out here. Like ideally, we don't want to be dependent for our own fulfillment and self-love. There are so many things that you can be grateful for and happy about, and when we're obsessing about a specific person, we're kind of losing track of everything else in our lives, and it's simply not healthy. So remember how worthy you are. Remember how important you are. Remember to put the focus back on yourself. Like, how are you feeling in the process? Are you showing up for yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Imagine that you are being taken care of fully. Be there for your own inner child as yourself. So imagine yourself being there for your inner child and be there. And imagine him being there for the part of you that feels hurt. And really keep basking in the inner experience of, he's here for me. He wants me. The 3D version has to direct me to the inner, real version of my specific person, and bask in that. And really make the inner world the real world. Because, like, the primary world. Not to say that what happens out here is not real, but make the internal world the primary world. Because otherwise you're always going to be dependent on what happens out there. And it's not sustainable. That's not how you're going to make a change, neither in your personal life nor in the world. And I know that you're going to do it. I know that you're going to do it. I have no doubt about it, because you're here, you're showing up, you're sharing your feelings, which is so courageous. And now you get the response that you simply gotta go back within. I have so many meditations about self-love, about specific person on my YouTube channel. Go back within and create the inner movement first. He will reflect it back to you, but create the inner movement first. That's where you need to focus. Don't even ask about external movement if you don't feel different inside. You can start to, I wouldn't check for external movement, but then that's when you can expect it to come, when you're experiencing the inner shift, when you know, like, of course he loves me because I'm me. I'm so special. I'm I'm full of love. Like I'm so filled up with my own love. I can simply feel that he's coming. I can feel it. I don't need proof of it. That's how you, that's where you want to be existing at, like the state that you want to be existing at. And then there's going to be no rush. Like when is he coming? What is he doing? Like, why is he rejecting me? You're in your own imagination, you're rejecting yourself all over again. And you're not alone with this. I know exactly how that feels. I know how it feels when your mind is like kind of taking over and creating stuff that you don't like. So, you know, you gotta take responsibility, and you can do it, and you're powerful to do that. I hope that helped you. And yeah, don't get discouraged. Like, remember that it's about you. Remember to take your focus back to yourself, and maybe also do some other things in your life so that you're not only focused on him. And really go in there and also change your belief system around him. Have the inner conversations with him. Feel him real. Wow, we are already at 1 hour. I didn't plan to be so long, but it's so nice. I personally don't think sleep affirmations are effective to manifest. We need heart-brain coherence. That's Dr. Joe Dispenza's words. Feeling is the secret. Thoughts alone don't create. What I can say to this is, when you know. Check out Dr. Joe Dispenza's work about heart-brain coherence. I'm familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza and the words that he's using. Honestly, check out whatever resonates for you. I wouldn't say that, what did you say? Thoughts alone don't create. I wouldn't say that, because I don't focus on what doesn't create. I focus on what does create. And if you find a way to change your state, to change your inner experience, that's going to create a different experience in your internal reality. Everybody has a different way of accessing it. If you resonate with Dr. Joe Dispenza's explanation, great, consume it and saturate your mind with the methods that you get from him, or gather information from multiple teachers and YouTubers, and use them, and coaches, and use them. Whatever works for you. I would be careful with comments like, actually it's okay, you just shared your perspective, so that's fine. But I can tell you that sleep affirmations do work, because I know many people, and I myself have experienced success with it. I also do agree that it depends on your own situation. But obviously, if you think it'll work, it'll work. And if you don't think it works, it won't work probably. But I also believe that there are some people who are more open to the sleep affirmations than others. So do what works for you. I don't use them all the time either. It's not my favorite tool, but it's a tool that I used, and it's a tool that has gotten me some results. So I still think it's nice, and I think it can be even very powerful for some people. So, and that might be you. So you might want to try it out and check for yourself and just explore it. Explore it for 21 days at least. I always say that. If I work on my self-concept, so this is the question from Julio. If I work on my self-concept, love myself for who I am, and that I'm good enough, if I feel totally good about myself, does that automatically attract my SP? Side note, she is my twin flame. First of all, with the expression twin flame, I don't exactly know how you define it, but for me personally, every human being is a reflection of myself. And then there are people who are how can I say that, who you've manifested to have a certain role in your life. So I guess that's what you mean with twin flame. Because from my perspective, obviously you are the creator of your reality, so you created her to be what you define as twin flame. But I could say more to the twin flame stuff, which I won't now because I'm going to go down that rabbit hole that doesn't actually respond to the question. So I'm putting the twin flame topic aside for a bit because I would love to elaborate more on the like pros and cons of that direction or that thought, or that community, so to speak. Has its pros and cons. But let me get back to the question. Will it automatically attract your specific person? I believe to a certain extent, definitely. To a very high degree, because when you're in alignment, when you're loving yourself and when you're in alignment, you are aligning with being the creator of your reality, and that automatically creates the results that you want. Now, what can happen is that you have beliefs that keep her away, that keep her out of your reality, or that keep her separate from you, because you might have some specific beliefs about her or about relationships. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the beliefs that get between you and your relationship with her in case she's not conforming. So you want to look at like, what are you thinking about why she's not here yet? And look at the story that you're telling yourself. But generally, if you don't hold those kind of limiting beliefs and you're in alignment with yourself and you're feeling happy and good about yourself and you're kind of like in this radiant energy, generally, from my perspective and from my experience, that attracts what you want directly to you. Somebody said, Navneet, thanks for answering. You're the sweetest. I already read that, and thank you. Somebody asked in German, Juhu, ein Coaching auf Deutsch ist möglich. Ich schreibe dir über deine Homepage. Shall I respond in German or in English now? Coaching auf Deutsch ist möglich und du kannst mir gerne über Instagram oder über meine E-Mail schreiben oder geh direkt in den Online-Shop und buch dir da was. Genau. Wenn du Fragen dazu hast, schreib es einfach als Kommentar rein. Okay, I just talked German for a bit. Sorry for those of you who don't understand. But I wanted to make sure that the person is understanding me. Yes, I see. It's not that I need to be less available, but I need to do more, make myself happy. Okay, I already saw these comments. Nice, lovely. Thank you. You're so welcome. When do you think of him? It's always loving, but you're right. It feels separate. Yeah, if it feels separate, then you're still not aware that he's actually you, which is insane to say, but it's also true. Like, that's why you feel so connected. It's because you're one. And he's a person that you can experience that with. Okay, here are multiple questions. Have you manifested your specific person? What's your story? Yes, that is very helpful. So I don't have like my story, like, okay. So for me, the specific person topic has, like, the story behind that is I saw certain patterns in my relationships with men, and from there I realized, okay, there's one pattern playing out in every single dynamic that I am in, or that I have created with certain, in certain relationships. And from there, I started realizing that long before I was manifesting and long before I was thinking about even specific people. And later I went into manifesting, and I always felt that, of course, we can manifest, but I didn't understand that we can really manifest very, very specifically. And I just felt and felt attracted to manifesting, so I started manifesting. And I also had success with manifesting. And it was last year where I really realized that or I really opened myself up to the possibility of manifesting specific people as well. So before that, I was already always aware that, yeah, I'm creating certain type of patterns in my relationship, but they can be reflected to me by, you know, any specific person. So like any person, not only one specific person, but like any person who is in a certain type of relationship with me. And I can create a change, but I was aware that I can create a change probably in my next relationship. I didn't really think that I can manifest specific people. And last year was the year where I challenged those beliefs and where I realized, well, why wouldn't we be able to do that? I realized that I actually already did that in the past, where I manifested specific people back to me multiple times, and also different specific people. Even before knowing about it. And then last year I also experimented with it and had successes with manifesting specific people. And I did not manifest a relationship because I am not at the moment manifesting, like I don't want to manifest a committed relationship right now, this very second. But I have manifested specific people and created changed behavior in specific people. So that's kind of like the very broad story. Like I could talk more about it, but I just found it fascinating how we can like not only change the dynamic when we are changing our self-concept and our concept about a specific person, we can change the dynamic in the relationship, but we can also like be very specific about what we want to be different in the relationship and how we want to be approached and so on and so forth. So that's like the broad story and the things that I have experimented with, like most specifically last year. And is there something else that I want to say to this? There was one more thing. Yes, and with specific people, I think what's very important is to work on the meta beliefs. Like not only work on the beliefs about your own self-concept and about theirs, but work on the beliefs that I know that I can manifest a specific person. I know that I am that manifesting a specific person is easy for me. Like we need to take that topic and treat it like any other topic. So those are the like most recent insights that I think are also relevant to this question or to this topic. And what I also like with the specific person manifestation, and where I've personally used it before even calling it specific person manifestation, was within my family, where I consistently created changes with specific people. And that was also an area that I used it in and experimented in. And I think it's amazing because so many people are only using that for their partner or for their romantic relationship. And then I'm wondering, well, first, I think to use it immediately on the person that you are least comfortable with. Like I know many people like are least comfortable actually being around their specific person, in a sense that they're experiencing more. Okay, now I need to rephrase. It's most difficult for them to manifest their romantic partner because they think that they have lost them and then they want to manifest them back from a state of neediness. So that's why I say try to manifest a specific person that is not necessarily that specific person. Just try and play with it so you can start to experience some success, and that will help you with the specific person manifestation in the long run. So you're kind of building that meta belief that I know that specific person manifestation does work. Now I can work my way up to manifesting the exact specific person that previously I thought was impossible to manifest. And I know I went a little bit overboard with answering that question, but I hope it helped you. Again, like I could share so much more about this. which I don't think I will do it right now in this live, because like it's also super personal, and I don't wanna keep expanding too much on the personal side, but more answer your questions. But definitely let me know if it answered your question. If I answered your question, I hope so. Okay, where was the question? Yes, that is very powerful. Manifesting a specific person is not the end goal. Honestly, I just want to feel I am abundance and love. I want to feel joy and ease. Exactly. That's why we shouldn't get lost in manifesting a specific person. And that's what I just meant when I said, try manifesting specific people that are not this one person who you think it's impossible. Because from my experience, sometimes we find that one person that we think, I can't have them, and then we are trying to manifest them and we're kind of getting stuck in that. Instead, I am manifesting, so let me try manifest this. Let me amplify my manifestation skills and work on myself and heal myself, and let me play with it, and let's release, or let's let go of the attachment to that one specific person. And in doing that, that is already helping you so much to then come back with less attachment, more positive energy, a new self-concept, and then you can more easily manifest whatever specific person you want to. Yes, thank you for saying this. You were touching my heart. Right, I'll prioritize inner work more. It helped, Julia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kavya, for your comment. How to manifest good health when you're caught up in 3D. So this is the question from Matt Stood. How to manifest good health when you're caught up in the 3D of not having good health. How to ignore 3D when there are so many symptoms telling you otherwise. I can relate that this feels difficult, and because you're constantly confronted with the opposite. And I'd still, I'd work on relaxing my body and being in touch with my body and kind of like feeling my inner body. When you're connecting with your heart and with your body, you can kind of feel the vibration of your body. I would work on doing that. You can look up my heart meditation, and that is going to help you with that. And I would also explore what are your beliefs about your health and your body, because obviously there are some deep-rooted beliefs that have caused the situation. And I don't want to say that you're responsible for not being healthy, but still I think if you really can explore those beliefs, it's going to be easy for you to identify, oh, well, there are some beliefs that are really, really not helping me. And then you can start healing them with the methods that I'm also teaching on my YouTube channel, on my emotional healing playlist. And from there, you can move into a new self-concept. And I'd really suggest that you get started with it, and that you take it seriously, and that you don't tell yourself that just because you're experiencing the opposite that you can't do it. You can do it. You can still get into the state of the wish fulfilled. You can still work with your body in various different ways, like doing the heart meditation and body scans. And if you need help with this, definitely reach out, because I think many people kind of tend to sometimes get stuck with health issues because they think, well, that's physical, that's not spiritual, but your mind has such a big effect on your body as well. So definitely work on your belief system around that. Thank you. I had already hot and cold results. I have to work on some beliefs, what I have about her. I need to read it again, like my focus is starting to cease to exist. I had already hot and cold results. I have to work on some beliefs, what I have about her. I'm not really, this is the last question that I'm going to answer, okay? Okay, because it's not a question. My brain is tired. So Yes, if you have hot and cold results, then again, yeah, check your story. What is your inner dialogue? What is your inner story that you're telling yourself? And then use the techniques that I explained above to get into the new story and to start feeling yourself as a new person. That's always important. If you're wanting to manifest someone else, still you are the focus and you need to start to feel different. You will come to a state where you don't care so much whether you're gonna manifest them or not. And that's when manifestations happen. And it's a really different state from, oh, where are they? When are they here? Even analyzing the situation. When you are putting the focus on yourself, then yes, sometimes you're going to think about them and manifest them, but you're also going to feel like just so fulfilled, and so you're going to feel so knowing about yourself that then it's easy for manifestations to come in. Then it's easier for them to find their way back to you because there's no neediness. And that's just, that's just the energy or the state of the wish fulfilled that allows for manifestations to flourish. Not to say that you can't manifest from lack, because I think it's possible to some extent, but it's not the sustainable way that you want to go about it. So definitely work on your inner dialogue and on your self-concept and on the feeling state of everything is here right now. I got everything I need. Everything is working in my favor and I'm doing great. And I am excited about life and I'm the goal and I love myself and I'm feeling fulfilled with myself. And I know that I can have whatever or whoever I want to. Somebody, Matt Stood said, "Thank you so much. What is the best self-concept affirmation according to you?" The best one is the one that makes you feel amazing and radiant. Yeah, something that makes you feel radiant, vibrant, and there's no one affirmation. It's really the story. It's the entire story that you're telling yourself. It makes you feel vibrant and radiant and energetic. And that being said, I hope that I could answer all of your questions. Thank you so much for being here. It was so lovely to have this Q&A with you. And now I'm going to say goodbye. If you're looking for more guidance, then feel free to reach out to me. And I am looking forward to creating more Q&As in the future. I honestly, okay, I have a few more minutes to just share with you. I was holding back from doing these live Q&As on YouTube because my YouTube following was still very small. And when I was going online, it was, there weren't so many people who were there. So that's why I didn't create them. But now we're almost at 500. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And now I'm going to do them more often because I think it's so much fun. And probably I'm gonna alternate between YouTube and Instagram lives. And it's so fun to in the moment answer your questions live and not just respond in a comment, because I think we can go much more deeply or much deeper in a video. All right, and now thank you everybody for being here and see you in the next Q&A. And thank you for your blessings, JD. Bye-bye.